So about garden cleanup, we always tell residents it really depends on where near your house your garden is and what you're comfortable with. Obviously, leaving plant material, leaving seed heads, leaving some debris on the ground over winter is really beneficial for wildlife. As you know, a lot of wildlife larvae and so on overwinter in native plant material. But we always tell people, do what you're comfortable with. If it's something that is really close to your front door and you need like a more formal look, you might do a little bit more cleanup. Certainly, if you have an area that is maybe out of your way in your garden area, maybe in the backyard, certainly you want to leave, some seed heads and maybe wait with cutting back your plant material until late winter. I think late February and early March is a good time. And we apply the same principles here. Obviously, because it is a demonstration garden, it's near our farm stand, we try to make sure it looks presentable, and also to help residents understand that native plant garden is an ornamental garden and is a good fit for your formal garden. At the same time, we try to leave our main cleanup until February, March for the same reasons. And I think a lot of the benefits of native plants really show all year round. So we always recommend you want to plant a 4-season garden. And I think having, like here you see like the giant coneflower, like leaving some of that. And and in winter it's so beautiful. First of all, you have seeds for birds in fall. In winter you might see like a snow cover on it, you might see the light catch it, you might see move it. So I think having the plant material and really seeing it at different seasons is actually very attractive. So I would recommend planting for different seasons and looking for plants like the echinacea is going to be really beautiful in winter. Again, you might have snow cover on it. You see a lot of birds feeding on the seeds in fall. So that's definitely a plant we would leave unpruned until late winter when we clean it up and cut it back.
Willowsford is a different kind of HOA, it seems like. Others would have people in the community that would likely complain about the look, so you're a little more forgiving about that.
Well, first of all, I always say you can create a really a formal ornamental garden with native plants. You can have a garden like a perennial garden, and with native plants, like with non-native plants. I don't think anybody needs to compromise anything by planting a native plant garden, and so certainly, it needs to be look tidy, but I think you can also do a lot of selective pruning. Maybe, instead of cutting the whole echinacea to the ground, somebody might come in and maybe you selectively prune and deadhead a little bit, but you can still have a very formal, presentable look without cutting it to the ground.
Like Susan Abraham said, edging around it gives an intentional.
Yeah, and just do some cleanup. Again, like look at it and see what you're comfortable with. And it doesn't always mean you have to cut it to the ground. Or the other thing I would recommend is finding landscapers, if you're using a landscaper who understands native plants. I think the worst thing somebody can do to their garden in October is like cut it to the ground and then blow every leaf off, right? There's literally nothing there that supports wildlife. So, again, and it might look different in different areas of the garden. You might have a backyard area where maybe you don't need to do any cleanup, right? And then in the front, maybe there needs to be a little bit more cleanup. So I think it's like in any other garden. I don't see native gardens really as much different from a conventionally planted garden. You can do very similar things with native plants.